Well, one thing that we should say is that and it's another change in defence, isn't it? As Lee's brought in 2 new players, so we've signed Nathan Cooper on a dual registration from Hornchurch. He's captaining them on 13 occasions this season, and also managed to play 4 clean sheets. And also he'll be joined by Liam McDevitt, who's joined on loan from Hayes and Yedding. He's 31, and we could see in the warm-up from him, he was very vocal, wasn't he? So
very vocal.
Maybe that's what we've missed, that leader potentially at the back. But once again, it's another defensive combination, 2 brand new centre-backs. It'd be interesting to see how they do on this occasion. Should also mention there's another new signing as well, but he's on the bench, so he's Omar Rowe, and he's joined from Hayes and Yedding as well. But he was formerly of Iron Napa in Southampton, so he's had a bit of an interesting career path, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, Iron Napa's, I'm sure, had a good time out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not so much now things closed. That's probably why he's back.
Yeah. So what as the teams are, may as well go through the lineup. So the home side lineup with Danny Bonas in goal. Then it's Gus Scott Morris, Luke Pennell, Captain Jake Howells returns to the team, Lee McDevitt, Nathan Cooper, Stephen Duke McKenna, Chris Paul as well returns to the team, Matty Bateman, JJ Lacey, Reggie Young, and the subs are BJ Christie, Jake Evans, Dean Snedker, Omar Rowe, and Ryan Kinane. So quite a few changes from Tuesday night. What do you think? Certainly bringing Paul back in and Howells back in.
Yeah, well, Paul was good when he came on. You know, we both said he's good at. He wants the ball. He chases it. He doesn't just pass the ball. He lends it to other people, and he has to get it back almost straight away. And we were saying as well, I think we looked better at Bath with Matty up front and JJ Lacey just in behind him, and we opted for a 2 up front with Christie and Bateman on in midweek, and that maybe didn't work, so he's reverted back to the JJ and a 10, which is nice to see. So hopefully that'll work, and we might see a cameo from Christie in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, JJ Evans played well when he came on. I mean, his brilliant piece of skill actually led to the goal in the end from the corner. That was where BJ Christie scored. He probably feels maybe a bit hard done by, considering he did score, and then he's found himself on the bench. But so the away side lineup: Reece Charles Cook, Ayo Tanimowo, Nathan Green, Lyle Delaverde, Lewis Hobbs, Anthony Cook captain, Ryan Blackman, Lexus Beeden, Mustafa Olagan Unju, nice name for me, that one, Rowan Liebird, and Ade Shakumbi. And their subs are Deepo Akinyemi, who scored in this fixture last season, Stefan Illich, Lionel Ainsworth, Jaheim Headley, Ben Ward Cochrane. So, I mean, I guess the teams are out now. Howells is speaking. Well, the 2 captains are speaking. I've also got the National League South fixtures and scores up, so I'll keep you up to date as the goals go in on that one as well. It looks like we're going to have a change of ends. So Tudor's going to be kicking from left to right as we look at it, because once again we're in the press box. So the near side will be again when Hemel are attacking. The near side will be the right, and the far side will be the left, and obviously vice versa for Welling. So I guess now, just as we're approaching kick-off, weather's, thank God, stopped, because it really was pretty horrendous, wasn't it, in the warm-ups?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you see this one going then?
Yeah, I'm hoping these sort of new defensive acquisitions are going to shore things up a little bit, and just gives the forward players a little bit more confidence. You know, we say Duke McKenna likes to tackle, but it's no good if he's spending half his time tracking his man back. You want him getting forward and sort of dictating the play. You want him giving the fullback problems, not vice versa. Yep. So if the defence can shore up a little bit today and just give it a little bit more freedom going forward, and then who knows, you might see a win. Yeah, and we might get a home win.
Well, very true. Yeah, I mean, looks like we are going to be underway. It's going to be Wellington away, and the ball's played back to Blackman, and his ball is deflected, and straight away McDevitt with a powerful header back in towards Matty Bateman, who nicks in and finds Duke McKenna, who is tackled by Nathan Green, and Green makes the foul, but Hemel quickly get underway. Howells in the centre circle, sprays out to Pennell in the left back position. He looks up and finds Reggie Young. Young tries to play it back to Pennell. Pennell pushes, Pennell does catch Tanimowo in the Anthony Cook in the end, and it is a foul. A bit clumsy there from Pennell, but it wasn't really, there was nothing he could do about it. Essentially, just ran into the back of his man. So it's an early free kick for Charles Cook to take. There's been a big turnover at Welling from the last season. They've only got 3 or 4 players, exactly the same as Hemel as well, and maybe that's reflecting the start they've made, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a similar situation for both teams, and maybe that does help explain the start that we've seen some teams make.
Blackman finds Cook, and then Cook switches it over here to Green. Green's going to have to do well to get that, and it's an ambitious ball from Cook, really. I mean, was high in the air and he couldn't bring it down. And it's going to be a throw in to the Tudors that Gus Scott Morris is going to take, roughly 25 yards inside his own half, into the Welling half, flicked on by Matty Bateman. JJ Lacey's after it, puts Lewis Hobbs under pressure, but Hobbs deals with it and plays it out. And it's back to Charles Cook. And Cook looking to play it forward. Pings a 30, 50 yard ball forward that is smashed away by Cooper, and Cooper finds JJ Lacey, and Lacey invites Reggie Young in behind, and Young's got here. Young to get the byline, crosses it in towards Duke McKenna, over the bar from Duke McKenna. Reggie Young did brilliantly to get the byline, finds his opposite winger, and on the volley side foots it well over the bar in the end, but good positive start from the Tudors.
Yeah, well, that's JJ Lacey as a 10, getting on the ball and playing it out to Reggie. You know, it's just that floater between the lines, and we've seen it straight away.
Ball smashed forward in the direction of Shakombi. This is Shakombi now. He wins the header and he finds it and plays it out to Cook on the right-hand side. Cook got 2 assists last season in the 2-0 fixture at Welling. Ball played forward by Cook this time and picked up by Danny Mones, and balls it out quickly to Scott Morris. Scott Morris finds Duke McKenna, who's just over the halfway line, touches it past Nathan Green. Green definitely leaves an arm on him, but referee saw nothing in that. You could argue it was just strength.
Yeah, he's not the biggest, Stephen, but
yeah,
he did lean into him there, I think.
This is Olakandrunji finds Cook, who seems to be playing centre midfield actually. He's usually a winger, but he finds Shakombi advancing forward in towards Tani Morwo, cleared by McDevitt, up towards Matty Bateman. Blackman nips in there and but can only clear out of play. And it's going to be a throw in to the Tudors just inside their own half on that far side that Pennell's going to take. Pennell forward, cleared by Tani Morwo, brought down by Blackman in the midfield area, and he plays it back towards Beeden, and then Beeden, centre back, finds Blackman, and Welling got a bit of possession now, but once again that early chance is so far the only thing that's happened in the game really. Beeden now pings one forward, headed away by Scott Morris. Lacey beaten to it by Beeden. Howells brings it down, finds Paul. Paul switches it over towards Pennell, and Pennell finds Matty Bateman, and Bateman finds Young. Young tackled well though by Olaganunju. Comes out to Howells again, and then Howells finds Cooper in the centre circle. He finds Scott Morris in the right back position. He finds Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna then knocks it down the line towards Scott Morris, out of play for a throw-in, but already Hemel knocking the ball around quite nicely.
Yeah, a bit of confidence, which is different to what we've seen, but what we have seen in the past few games is a similar-ish start, and then if a goal does go in, the heads drop.
Yeah,
so
that is
it's just about
true.
getting this first goal, which I don't think we've really seen.
Ball played forward. Cook wins the header, but only as far as Duke McKenna. Scott Morris then just fires it down the line up towards JJ Lacey, and Beeden, under no real pressure really, just knocks it out of play, and it's a throw-in that Scott Morris can take right in front of us here on the halfway line. Finds Paul, who brings it down, is tackled by Shakombi, and in the end he wins the ball for his side. So good play from Shakombi there to win his side a throw-in. All the other fixtures at the moment are 0-0. Green forward, flicked on, and then cleared by Pennell up towards Lacey. Lacey gets the flick in the direction of Matty Bateman, but it's brought down by Hobbs in the end, and Hobbs finds Tani Morwo into Blackman. Blackman fires it in towards Nathan Green, and Green can't get past his man. Forced back to Beeden, and Duke McKenna has forced it all the way back to Cook. And Cook's clearance isn't great, but it might runs through for Pennell instead. Pennell driving forward now, tries to slip it through. It might run through for Matty Bateman. Just literally an inch away from almost perfectly deflecting into Matty Bateman's path, but in the end it bounces through to Cook.
Yeah, positive play again, just trying to go forward.
Yeah,
every opportunity.
Cook pings one up towards Liebird. Liebird's flick on to absolutely no one, And Hemel have the ball back with McDevitt. And McDevitt launches the ball in the direction of Reggie Young, and Young brings it down. Young's in behind his right back, getting to the byline. Reggie Young again gets his cross in. It's going to run through for Duke McKenna, is it? No, it's not. I thought it was. But in the end, Blackman intercepts, and away come Welling, but already Young causing problems on that left-hand side. Ball switched out here towards Green. Green just knocks it in the direction of Shakombi, brought down by Cooper well, and finds Bowness. Bowness puts his foot through it, up towards Bateman. Blackman wins the header. Scott Morris down the line. Inviting JJ Lacey to get that, but can't do anything with that. So 5 minutes in, and that's two. Well, it was a great ball by McDevitt, wasn't it? A great switch out towards Reggie, and then he got him behind. His cross was, I don't know, I just think it stuck, didn't it, in the turf? A bit weird. But
sort of tried to cut it back rather than cross it.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't quite the run he was looking for, I think.
thought it was going to run through for Duke McKenna again, but it just seemed like to get stuck, and Blackman in the end cleared it. So very early days here, but it's still 0-0. Cook forward from the goal kick. Brought down by Liebird. He wants a free kick, and in the end, it's just patted out of play by Cook. Scott Morris to take the throw. Down the line towards Matty Bateman. Bateman wins the flick on. Lacey beaten to it by Hobbs though, but Matty Bateman's already won one or two of those, and Lacey's been close to getting them. But away comes Cook into Nathan Green over the halfway line. Green forced back though into Beeden. Good pressing, isn't it, from Hemel when they don't have the ball.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Pennell wins the header, finds Reggie Young. Young takes a bit of a loose touch though, and Shakombi gets in there and shoves him off and leaves it for Cook. This is Green again, just in front of us, just behind the halfway line. Drives a superb ball over towards Tanny Morwo, who's driving forward now, but he's tackled well by Pennell. And Pennell collects. And then it's cleared in the end up towards Bateman. Bateman beaten in the air by Hobbs. Picked up by Cook. And then this is Reggie Young, who flicks his way past one and flicks his way past two, and then tries to find Duke McKenna, I think, but intercepted. This is Blackman just in his half. Just in the centre circle now, Blackman again. Carries it over towards Nathan Green, just behind the halfway line. He's forced all the way back towards Beeden. And Bateman puts Beeden under pressure, but it's played forward into Olegan Unju, into Tanny Morwo. Back to Blackman. And then Beeden into Green. And then that's a foul on Della Verde by Chris Paul. But, well, I think Paul's going to have a word, maybe very early for a yellow card, wouldn't it? And definitely it wasn't a yellow card offence.
No, definitely not.
He's given him quite a long talking to there for a pretty innocuous challenge there, really. But either way, it's a free kick, sort of 5 yards or so inside Hemel's half. About 15 yards. It's probably like 10 yards off the centre circle, isn't it? It's dead. It's pretty central, really. It's left of centre. But Cook is over it. And Cook fires it into the box. There's a decent ball headed away by McDevitt, brought down by Paul. Paul then plays it in towards Matty Bateman. Bateman trying to get the run on Tanny Morwo. He can't. And Welling regain position. Welling have had a lot of the ball, haven't they? But they haven't necessarily done anything with it. And so far, Hemel have definitely had the better of the play, well, in the attacking sense.
Yeah, they've been defensively solid so far, which is...
well, as I said too, we're expecting two teams who maybe struggle offensively, but so far, just 10 minutes or so into the game, and certainly the Tudors look quite solid. This is Gus Scott Morris into Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna fires his cross in, cleared up and away by Hobbs. Cook wins the header, and then Shakombi gets it away up towards Tanny Morwo, but I think Reggie Young's going to nip back at him, and Tanny Morwo's fouled him.
It's good pressing again, isn't it?
It was good press. I think Tanny Morwo just thought he had so much time on the ball. He wasn't expecting Reggie Young to come behind him, and he nipped in front of him. And it's a free kick in a decent position. It's roughly 35 yards out from goal. It's right on the the far touchline, and it looks like Chris Paul's standing over it.
Yeah, and the big men are forward, not quite as big as usual.
No,
Ajayi
I should mention Ajayi. He'll be back next week. He suffered quite a few knocks, didn't he, in that game against Devonport, but he kept going. But unfortunately, not available today. So Paul to take this one now. He whips it in. It's pretty poor. It's headed away at the front post, and it might be picked up in the end, but it's played out by Liebert, and Liebert's ball forward is picked up by Howells. Back into Danny Bowness. You expect a bit better from Chris Paul there, really. Didn't beat the first man.
Didn't quite get the height on it he would have wanted.
Bowness's kick forward is picked up by Shikombi, and then Howells comes in and wins it off him. Don't think Lee was too happy with Danny Bowness there for the goal kick.
I think there was a nice ball out to one of the wingers on there, and it's sort of just gone straight into the well in midfield.
Cook forced to play the ball back to Beeden, and Duke McKenna wins it back, and Beeden's all over the back of him, and it's going to be brought back for a free kick. I have to say, so far, Beeden doesn't look too comfortable on the ball, does he?
No, it looks like Hemel have got the beating on the wing so far.
Whenever
see what Matty can do.
Whenever he's being forced to come out to this side here. Anyway, it's taken quickly. It's now with Duke McKenna. And Duke McKenna goes past his man easily, and he's advancing, and he fires it a goal, and it's saved by Charles Cook. He got the swerve on it, but it swerved in towards the goalkeeper rather than away from the goalkeeper, and in the end Cook gets down and makes a pretty comfortable save. But yeah, definitely he's been the standout player of the game so far. Duke McKenna putting Green under pressure, and then played back in towards Beeden. Beeden now clips one forward towards Liebert. Liebert gets a big shove in the back from McDevitt, and it's going to be a free kick to the wings. Just have a quick check on scores for you. Yeah, so Chippenham are winning 1-0 against Ebbsfleet, and Oxford City are 1-0 up against Avon Waterlooville, and every other game is 0-0 at the moment. This free kick's taken quickly. Green then pings it into the box. It's headed just wide in the end by Liebert there. Bowness was rooted to his spot. They played it short welling. It caught the Tudors out a bit. It was clipped in by Green, and Liebert beat his man to it, and in the end he heads it just wide of the far post, and out of nothing, Welling were nearly in the lead there.
Yeah, it's a good chance that.
It was a good chance, wasn't it?
Man didn't seem to have him at all.
Here comes Delaverde, finds Tani Morwo, taking on his man, Jake Howells. And in the end he's forced back, and Welling still have the ball. The rain has now restarted again. It's Nathan Green advancing in the midfield. It's a very, very heavy touch. And here's Reggie Young, and here come the Tudors. He's over the halfway line, Young, and he's looking for Duke McKenna, and the ball's going to reach Duke McKenna, but it was behind him. So the attack's maybe lost a bit of its momentum, and Shikombi stands tall and wins the ball back and then gives it away. Finill finds Reggie Young. He's a huge for a midfielder, isn't he, Shikombi?
He is. Reggie
Young taking on Tani Morwo, gets past him, clips his ball in the box. Matty Bateman heads it. I think went backwards off his head there. I don't know what happened. Cleared by Green. Up towards Liebert. Liebert gives it away, and Hemel win the ball back again. It's Scott Morris. Thanking to everyone who's tuning in once again. Once again, apologies for not being able to have the streaming, but hopefully Dan will be better for next week in the Dulwich game, and we will be able to stream that one on Tuesday again. We'll also have Mixler commentary as we play Hampton and Richmond. Ball cleared by, up towards Tani Morwo. He's played it back into Olagununju, and then back to Hobbs. Hobbs looking to walk it out, finds Blackman. Blackman carrying the ball forward and slips a nice ball in towards Delaverde, and Delaverde goes for goal from 35 yards at least. Turns, that's an effort, and in the end it goes well over the bar, but it's ambitious, that, isn't it? He's trying to catch out Danny Bowness.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd seen Danny off his line. He didn't look to be too far.
It's just about 16 minutes or so into the game. If you're just joining us here at Vauxhall Road, it is 0-0. I'd say it was a decent chance for Duke McKenna as he fired a volley over from a Reggie Young cross, and then Duke McKenna again with another shot that when he cut inside his man and hit a shot straight at Cook. But But there has been a decent chance for Welling as well when Liebird with a good header from sort of 10 yards or so wide of the far post. So it's been a lively start of the game. This is now Blackman again picking up the ball. Finds Beeden in the centre circle. And then he plays it into Green. And Green finds Shikombi. What a brilliant tackle by Jake Howells. He absolutely came flying in and won it back. And here's Duke McKenna now. Duke McKenna finds Paul. Paul looking to slip in. Reggie Young. Young now sends his cross into the box to the back post. Beeden, it gets stuck in the air. And in the end, it just runs for Beeden. This is Jake Howells though. He wants Scott Morris with him. He slips it into Scott Morris. Scott Morris finds Howells again. Howells finds Paul. Paul takes a lovely touch. Fires his way past, flicks his way past his man, then finds Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna now, ball in the box, it's really good. Here's Reggie Young! Over the bar, the back post. It's absolutely wonderful cross by Duke McKenna, and Young arriving late, full volley, full contact, straight over the bar from about 6 yards out.
Yeah, it's got a little bit too much on it. It's a little bit too much. You can see the game plan. Looks like the Tudors, both wingers have got
the beating of them
men. Got the beating of their men, definitely so far. Yeah.
And that was an absolutely perfect ball. It was in that corridor of uncertainty. As they say, the keeper couldn't come out and do anything with it, and the defenders, if they touch it, it's an own goal. It was a superb ball in. As you say, just a little bit too much on it. Maybe just needs to guide it in. But anyway, it's a huge chance. And it is still 0-0. Paul with a header. Smashed away by Cooper. Cooper up towards Matty Bateman. It's going to drop for JJ Lacey. Lacey finds Reggie Young again. Young fires it across the box again, but there's no one in a red shirt this time. And Beeden can clear for the wings. Beeden forward up towards Liebird. Cooper wins the header. Going to drop for Cook though. Cook advancing his way over the halfway line. Got Paul for company. Needs a blue shirt to help him, and he slips it in towards Tanimowo, but McDevitt comes across and deals with it well. Pennell then gives it away. This is Shikombi. Shikombi lets it run through for Blackman. Blackman cuts his way past one, and then Paul gets in there and wins it back. Paul then tries to find Duke McKenna, but intercepted by Green. Green driving towards the byline. Green gets his cross in, cleared by Cooper at the near post. Scott Morris now has time and fires it up towards Matty Bateman. Blackman brings it down. Bateman trying to get in there, wins it back brilliantly. Duke McKenna finds JJ Lacey, and he's tried the little touch off, just got a little bit too little on it.
Too little on it, yeah.
And Welling regroup. With Olegan Unju, finds Tanimowo into Cook again. Yeah, they're not in any rush, are they?
No, they need to
they're very slowly knocking the ball around here. Blackman then finds Green as they're trying to up the pace maybe a bit. Green finds Shikombi, who's, you will have to say how tall he is on the video, because he's huge for a centre midfielder.
He's a big guy as well.
Yeah, he's huge, isn't he? Cook back into Olegan Unju, into Cook again. Cook shows some lovely skill and reverses his way past Reggie Young, and then looking to ping it into Green, and Green has a bit of time here. Dummies his man, and then driving forward Nathan Green. Then is taken out by Scott Morris on the edge of the box.
Good bit of skill there by Green.
Was a good bit of skill, wasn't it? It was a good little feint, and then he just used his power then after that. And Scott Morris caught him as he's pushed the ball past him. Hello people, afternoon everyone. Thank you all tuning in. If you just joined in here at Vauxhall Road, it is 0-0 still, but it's a decent free kick here. What we're saying, 25 yards out ish.
Yeah, no wall for the Tudors.
No wall. 25 yards out. It is very, very left of centre. And it is Della Verde standing over it.
Been lucky to get over the bucket without a booking there, I think.
Yeah, there was no real attempt to get the ball, was there?
No, and he was running straight at goal, so it's maybe lucky there. One-man wall, and he's not the biggest Duke McKenna, so he's obviously not expecting a shot of any kind.
And there are a lot of Welland shirts in the box, so Della Verde to deliver this one then. Just got to make sure.
Bonus from the way he's standing is expecting a cross as well. So I'm surprised if he does hit it.
Delaverde swings it in. It's a really good ball to the back post. And then in the end, it's fired over, I think, by Bean in there in the end. Well, it's deflected over, actually, so it's a corner.
It's an interesting.
It was a good ball in.
Yeah, great ball.
So someone's done very well to get a block in. Dorking are now 2-0 up against Tonbridge out of absolutely nothing. Everything else is still the same score lines. But it's going to be Delaverde to take a corner on the far side. So he's left-footed with the in-swinger. And he put in a very good ball just moments ago. So can he deliver it again? One arm raised from Delaverde. Swings it in. And it's cleared at the near post this time. Drops for Cook, though. Cook back to Delaverde. Delaverde tackled brilliantly by Reggie Young. And I think it's going to throw in right on the corner flag, which has signalled a few of the Welland centre-backs return to their position, haven't they? So
yeah, obviously not going to
try. Yeah, maybe they haven't got
a
long throw. But it's going to be Tanny Morwar to take it. It is literally directly on the corner flag. So from the exact same position as Delaverde took that corner. Tanny Morwar forward. And offside. That is a classic example of how not to do a throw in like that.
No, don't play a 1-2 when the throw-in taker is offside.
Yeah. So I guess from that Scott Morris tackle, I mean, I guess it gave Welland a bit of respite, but they didn't make anything of it.
Yeah, just trying to create something, just trying to get something on the ball. They've not really been troubling Danny Bowness too much.
Bowness forward. Straight out of play for a throw-in.
Just trying to metaphorically and literally weather the storm as the rain comes.
Yeah, the rain's back. Yeah, the rain's back. The rain is back again. Floodlights blaring here. But I think we're about halfway in the first half, and you have to say Tudors have been the better team. JJ Lacey has put Cook under a lot of pressure, and Cook's been forced to clear it up towards Bean. Hasn't got very far, and then Bean clears it long up towards Shakombi. Shakombi brings it down, has done well in the end. Green fires it forward. McDevitt comes in, intercepts, finds Lacey. Lacey gets there, trying to play in Matty Bateman, and just deflects through for Cook in the end. Cook to get us underway here. Balls it out towards Hobbs. And Hobbs carries it forward. Looking to find Shakombi. Big tackle. Jake Howells picks it up. Duke McKenna now looking to take on his man. Chops inside one. Driving a goal now. Duke McKenna needs some help. Straight away he's got men all over him. In the end he's done brilliantly to win a free kick.
He's causing all sorts of
Howells
problems.
gives him Howells gives him some encouragement there, because that was all his own work, wasn't it?
Just gone over to talk to Lee as well. It's nice how he's constantly in communication, isn't he?
He's made such a positive impact on the team, hasn't he? Like both his work rate and his quality, and also just his off-field character as well.
Yeah, he's argumentative, but in a good way. Like he wants to know what he's doing wrong. If Lee's giving him instruction, he's not just going to sort of brush over it. He's going to ask why and sort of give his input as well. So
to two-man Welland Wall, it's pretty much it's very, very right of centre. It's like 25 yards out again. It's a great position for they're trying to look through the crack in the door. Reggie Young standing over it as well, but it's Duke McKenna. In the end, Duke McKenna swings it in. It's a brilliant ball. The back post, it's cleared fantastically there. But I think Liebird, the striker, getting back.
Corner ball.
There was two red shirts behind him, so he had to do that. But it's a corner on the far side that Young will take. Some mad screaming from the Welland bench there. They're trying to get some point across. It's Lacey to take this one. Two arms raised. Clips it over to the back post. It's met by Cooper. Oh, it was McDevitt, sorry. It was cleared.
It was a lofted corner.
It was a lofted. It was. I mean, that's probably why he just had to generate so much power on the ball. And the weather has come back again and got pretty heavy. This is cleared again up towards McDevitt, who brings it down and finds Paul. Paul now looking to switch it over towards Duke McKenna. It's a brilliant ball. Duke McKenna brings it down. Tries to then backheel it to Scott Morris, who wasn't there. Chicombi finds Anthony Cook. Back into Chicombi now. He finds Delaverde. Delaverde turns in the centre circle, but Paul gets back at him and gets a long leg in and wins his side a free kick. We talk about good Paul's been he's on the ball, but today he's been brilliant and just getting a leg round and winning these tackles.
Yeah, he's just an all-action midfielder, isn't he?
Scott Morris finds Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna in towards Matty Bateman. Bateman encouraged to hold it up. Finds Paul. Paul back into Howells. Howells finds Scott Morris. Scott Morris into Paul, who can turn and instead finds it back to McDevitt. McDevitt carrying it forward. Finds Pennell. Pennell slips it into JJ Lacey, and then Lacey was going to go for the 1-2, but big breakdown between Reggie Young and communication there. And Welling regather the ball with Tanny Moore, who's carrying it forward. Finds Delaverde, who's lost the ball to Duke McKenna. Bateman's going to come across and Blackman beats him to it, and Blackman advancing forward for Welling to tackle by Duke McKenna. It's a late challenge on him by Duke McKenna on Blackman. I mean, this is probably going to be a yellow card.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's a last-ditch tackle, and it's not a nice one.
He's gone in late. He's gone in hard. Blackman, to be fair, has not made the most of it. And it's definitely a yellow card. Can see it out. Referee is now booking Duke McKenna. Yeah, there it is. There goes the yellow card. And it's a free kick from, well, I don't think that's where it was. They're taking it from almost identical position to where they took the free kick from a couple of minutes ago, again, but it was a bit further back. Definitely looked like it was further back anyway. It's referee having a word with now. Jake Howells and Cooper.
Maybe.
What have you made of the new centre-back partnership so far?
Well, in a good way. We've not had to see them do too much, but I've been really impressed with McDevitt especially.
Yeah.
Cooper had a chance on that header, but like you say, had to generate all the power. It was almost dinked into him.
Should just mention that now the rain has come back and we're pretty much in a storm at the moment, aren't we, really?
Yeah, you can just see it going almost across field, can't you? It's almost going horizontal.
So conditions could get a lot worse. And, well, either way, this free kick has been now moved back to where it was actually from. So it's about 35 yards out instead. Left of centre, Delaverde swings it in. It's a good ball to the back post. Misses everyone in the end. Bowness was tempted to come, wasn't he? But in the end, he stayed on his line. And the blue shirt couldn't profit. And his goal kick. Still no more goals in the rest of the National League South. It's been quite a quiet start to the day so far. Just about half an hour or so in now. Still 0-0 here at Vauxhall Road. Bowness to take the goal kick. Fires it forward. Brought down by Reggie Young on his chest, but only for Olakununju. He finds Hobbs. Hobbs into Blackman and then back to Olakununju. He finds Beeden, and then Beeden now got some grass to walk into when he goes over the halfway line. Then he clips a ball over towards Nathan Green, and Green's in behind, and Green fires it across goal, and there's no one there for Welling. Well, reaches Tanny Moore at the back post in the end, but Hemel clear the lines up towards Matty Bateman. Bateman wins the header, finds Lacey. Lacey now advancing forward. He slips it into Matty Bateman. Bateman's been forced wide, needs some help. He's in the box. He's looking to get past his man. He fires it over towards the back post, and there's no one there in a red shirt, and Cook can just grab the ball. Almost there. You want Bateman to be the one at the back post, not the one crossing the ball.
Yeah, not the one crossing the ball.
Yeah. Beeden now pings one forward, and then Scott Morris steps in front of his man and clears it. Beeden now gets another chance to play it forward, but instead he just plays it into Blackman. If you just join us once again, it is 0-0 here still at Vauxhall Road. It's been a good start from Tudors, certainly. Did some 2 decent chances. Welling have had 1 good chance for the Liebird header. Duke McKenna now back to Scott Morris. Scott Morris finds Duke McKenna, who's got a man straight at him, and then pushes it past Nathan Green, and then rolls his man, does absolutely superbly to get past Nathan Green, and then Green still trying to get back at him, and now the free kick's being given. Green really cannot handle Duke McKenna.
He can't. He's been really good going forward, I gotta say, Green. But
Yeah, he has.
Defensively,
Yeah.
Duke McKenna's got him.
Well, they want a yellow card for Green, and he has made, I made that 2 fouls now on Duke McKenna, I think. I mean, he was toying with him there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he sort of knocked
inside
it,
him,
knocked it to the
outside
left
him.
and
Yeah,
took it back round.
yeah, he was toying
Beat
with
him, then went back and beat him again.
Yeah, he was absolutely toying with him there. Feel sorry for the poor lad. Anyway, it's a chance for Duke McKenna to deliver across. It's pretty much just off the touchline. It's about 30. It's about 30 yards ish from goal. It's a decent position for a cross again. All the red shirts are in the box, apart from Scott Morris. Well, Reggie Young standing over it as well for the short option, maybe. 64 listeners. Thank you, everyone, tuning in once again. We apologise that we can't stream this one, but hopefully next week we'll be able to get the stream up and going again. Reggie Young this time into the box. It's a good ball. Everyone goes up. It's going to drop it. It's fired straight at Cook. I think it was McDevitt in the end who had the shot, but it was deflected in the air. It dropped to McDevitt, and he just put his foot through it, and it's gone straight at Cook. And that's 2 shots now. Cook's not made 2 saves this game, but they've both been very, very easy, haven't they? This is Cook at the other end for Welling, looking to take the ball forward. Gives it away. Cooper comes in with a strong challenge on Della Verde, and I think it's definitely going to be another yellow card at least.
For me, he's got the ball.
He has got the ball. He's gone through. He's won them, but unfortunately, the way it is now is that.
Yeah. He's definitely caught his man, but it looks like he's won the ball and has been quite a distance before he's hit his man on the follow through. But
Delaverde's still he's receiving some treatment now, and it's going to be a free kick. Well, it's a very good position for a free kick, as we said. Well, just waiting to see what the referee decides. I can see the yellow card in his hand, so we'll assume that's Cooper on a yellow card. Yeah, that's Cooper on a yellow card, and it's going to be a free kick.
You can just see the Hemel bench talking as well. He's received treatment on the pitch, and he's not
gone
off. He's
right, well, yeah, I mean...
He's asked the ref, and the ref says, no, take the free kick, go for it.
I mean, doesn't help that this doesn't help that they don't know the rules.
No, he's actually standing over the free kick.
Delaverde, is standing over the free kick. Even though
Physio's come on and treated him, and he's now going to take the free kick without going off. So if this goes in, this will be very controversial.
It will be very controversial. It's Cook over it. Cook has already scored a free kick this season in that game against Slough Town. And it's a position for a right footer, I would say. It's 22 yards out. It's Cook. Cook fires it in towards goal. Bowness gets down well and tips it around the post. It was the goalkeeper's side, so you'd maybe expect him to make the save, but he still had to get down there and push it away strongly with 2 hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good save. Good save. Probably couldn't see it very well too.
Tudor John asked me if I remembered my quote. We'll cross it straight away and then put in corner, and it's cleared in the end. Comes out towards Delaverde again. He now clips one back in. It's headed away in the end, and it deflects through, and it's fired into the net by Shakombi, and Welling take the lead. I don't know who headed it down in the end, but it was a poor header, and in the end it ran for it just turned into a perfect ball for Shakombi. He just ran onto it and slots it in from about 8 yards, and it is Hemel Hempstead Town 0, Welling United 1. And I mean, I wouldn't say it was not against the run of play, but I wouldn't say that they deserve the lead.
And again, the free kick, the corner and the cross, all from Delaverde, who shouldn't, by any account of the rules, be on the pitch. But
certainly not for the free kick. I think he'd be allowed on. He would have been allowed on for the corner
potentially. Yeah.
But Shakombi gets the goal, and I would have to say that again. But the header away from the ball in, and again by Delaverde, was Well, it was very poor, wasn't it? And in the end, just turned into a perfect ball for Shicombe, who just runs in and slots it in. And the Tudors have it all to do once again.
Yeah, just ruining missed chances at the moment, I think.
Yeah, and Tonbridge have pulled one back against Dorkings. That one's 2-1. 10 minutes ago, or so to go to half time, but it is now Hemel Hempstead Town 0, Welling United 1. And you'd say it's probably another avoidable goal. Paul.
Another goal from across.
Yeah, very true. Paul plays it back to McDevitt and he fires it forward. Bateman wins the header. Headed away as far as Olaganju. And then this is Tani Morwo. He clears. Played into Liebird. Liebird then fires it over towards Beeden, and Beeden finds Nathan Green. Green dinks it down the line into the goal scorer, Shicombe. Shicombe, as in the end, took the ball out of play, but he had got past Scott Morris, but he did take the ball out of play. So taken quickly by Cooper. So 2 yellow cards as well for Hemel now as well. So especially Cooper, he'll have to be careful. Finill looking to play the ball forward, and then it's a pretty aimless ball, but it might run through for Matty Bateman. Bateman gets there ahead of his man, and I think it's in the end it's deflected off him. It's a goal kick. I thought he might have made something of it there, but he hasn't.
No, he's done well to actually get there.
Yeah.
In all fairness to him,
he has, yeah, definitely, yeah. So it'll be Charles Cook instead to take the goal kick, as Welling look to see out that goal lead till half time. And as I say, that first league, well, it's their first league win of the season as well. Charles Cook forward. Cooper wins the header, plays it back to Finill. Finill under some slight pressure from Delaver, just thumps it forward in the direction of Matty Bateman. That's got way too much on it. And runs straight out play for a goal kick. You could just tell there as soon as the ball hit the turf, it was away. It was going to be away, wasn't it? Because of the rain we've had.
Yeah, that was always going to skip out of play the minute it hit the floor.
Mm-hmm. So Charles Cook to take this one. Goal kick again. Pings it long. Reaches Finill. Killed by Hobbs. Brought down by Delaverde. He finds Liebird. Liebird tackled. Then this is McDevitt again. Into Finill. Finill slips it into JJ Lacey. Howells. Finill again. Looking to advance forward with the ball, and he's fouled. So Howells looking to perhaps take the free kick. Does indeed. Plays it back to McDevitt. And then played into Cooper. Cooper looking to take the ball off the halfway line. Finds Scott Morris. Should say Hemel have not won, haven't actually beaten Welland since 7th of January 2017. So recent history definitely favours the Wings. That's a poor giveaway there. Picked up by Tani Morwo. Tani Morwo's ball might run through for Shicombe. It does. Shicombe then goes in. Well, he slipped over and won the tackle. And then he switches it over in the direction of Tani Morwo. Straight out play for a goal kick.
He doesn't look comfortable now.
No,
just gone. Oh no, he's back up.
Yeah, he slipped over, didn't he? And then in the end, it went
really
straight
him
through
into a
Paul.
slide tackle.
Ball played forward towards Reggie Young, picked up in the end though by Tani Morwo into Beeden again. Beeden clips it out over towards Olakanunju into Blackman. Welling just looking to definitely just take the sting out of the game here. Cook picks up the ball over the halfway line, looking to drive down that right-hand channel. He's got 2 Hemel shirts at his back, and in the end he wins a side throw-in. Yeah, I mean, nearly at half-time, I guess. Well, the way Welling are playing, you can just see that they're pretty content to just sort of see it out.
Yeah, can't see them sort of going forward too much more.
Especially when, as I say, still looking for that, that first league win of the season. This is Nathan Green in the centre circle, looking to drive over towards the left, and then he just plays it back to Beeden, and Beeden finds Cook. Cook just over the halfway line now. Into Olaganunju, just in his own half. And from that right-hand side, and then he dinks it over towards Liebert. McDevitt's just going to get there. McDevitt clears it over his head, up towards Finill. Finill brings it down. And then launches it long in the direction of Matty Bateman. Cleared by Olakununju. Since the goal, it's a bit of the pace from the game's gone.
Just sort of taking the wind out of Hemel at the moment.
Pennell's throwing forward, headed away, and is picked up by Shikombi. He finds Cook. Cook to Liebert. Liebert into Tanimowo. Headed away, and then Reggie Young finds Lacey. Well, via Tanimowo. Lacey in the centre circle wants some options. Fires it over in the direction of Duke McKenna, who's going to do very, very well to get there, and doesn't. Needs to Lacey there, trying to switch play. In the end, he just fired it straight behind Reggie Young there.
Yeah, and
not Reggie Young, sorry, just Duke McKenna.
Before the goal goes in, we're spraying it about quite nicely, and now we seem to be all at sea just for the last sort of 2-3 minutes.
Green with the throwing forward. Might reach Delaverde, does, but in the end, Hemel regather the ball with McDevitt. He finds Finill. Finill looking to switch the ball over towards Duke McKenna. It's behind him again, but he gets there this time. Into Scott Morris, who wants some options. And then he plays it back to Cooper, and Cooper looking to get out of his feet and dinks one forward. Duke McKenna beaten in the air by Green. Shikombi and Paul having a battle, and in the end, Shikombi's forced Paul into conceding the throw. He's been, not apart from the goal, he's been impressive, hasn't he, from for Welling?
He has, yeah. He's just an imperious, isn't he?
Yeah. Green with the throw forward. Liebert wins the flick on. Cooper gets in there. Howell's header back towards Finill. Pennell's going to be under some pressure here, and then he's just forced to dink it forward in the direction of Reggie Young, and Cook gets there ahead of him. Cook, Olakununju now battling Reggie Young. Young is, he's half the height of him, and he give him a good battle there, but in the end the throw-in's gone Welling's way. (3-1) now to Dorking, and every other game is still the same scoreline. So Dorking having a very good season so far as well. Rain's back again, really not as heavy as it was, but it's still pretty. Just seems like it's going to be one of those days, doesn't it, really? Howell's ball forward is cleared by Shikombi. Howells then heads it off Cook, and Cook goes for the acrobatic overhead kick clearance. Bit of head tennis going on now, but it's going to be picked up by Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna then tries to find Scott Morris. Duke McKenna beats Green in the air, and Green's quite a bit taller than him. Paul then beaten to it by Delaverde, but then Paul wins it back, shows some good strength and battling, and finds Howells. Delaverde wanted the foul. Howells finds Reggie Young. Young now can stretch his legs, looking to get the byline, fires his cross in. Is it going to reach a red shirt? It isn't, it's cleared. And then Finill picks it up. Finill finds Howells. Back into Finill. Can Hemel get anything before half time? Into Reggie Young again. Young looking to take on Tanimowo. On his right foot, gets past his man and fouled right on the edge of the area.
Yeah, that's right on the line, isn't it?
Right on the edge of the area. Tanimowo just desperate challenge.
When he tried to show him inside and put his body in the way, and Reggie Young said, fair enough, I'm still quicker than you, I'll still get there.
Exactly, yeah. And it is literally right on the corner, that corner. So sort of if you were looking at it from dead centre, it's like on the left-hand corner of the box, isn't it? And it is, is it
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul over it?
2 minutes of added time.
2 minutes added time, by the looks of it. It is Paul over it. Kingy giving us the...
He loves it, doesn't he?
He does love it.
Absolutely loves it.
Although he doesn't love the rain, clearly. He's not enjoying that.
Runs back.
Paul steps up, fires it in. It's deflected wide. Is it going to be a corner? It's going to be a corner. It was fired in by Paul, and in the end, it's deflected wide.
Hobbs has just thrown himself in front
Hobbs
of it.
has just thrown himself in front of it. So again, but this time it's going to be Lacey standing over the corner instead. Lacey clips it in towards the back post. Going to drop, is it? No, it's cleared in the end. Up towards Howells. Howells finds well, in the end it runs for Young, whips it in, deflected, Delaverde, poor clearance, flicked on by Finill. Is it going to drop for Lacey? It's blocked. In the end, comes out to Reggie Young in the corner. Tudors pushing hard at the end of the first half. Howells then just sends it in first time, flicked on, and then Charles Cook comes out and grabs. I think it was flicked on by Lacey in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good chance there for Lacey. Blocked well.
Yeah, he did.
Well, and it just
did well
in the way now, aren't
did
they?
well to create the space for the shot, but I mean, after conceding and nothing really happening, it's much more positive from the Tudors. But it does look like half time they are going to be going in 1-0 down. Charles Cook clips it forward in the direction of Delaverde. Cooper gets there first. And it's going to be throw in to Hemel right in front of us here. Scott Morris to take. Scott Morris forward in towards Matty Bateman. Bateman brings it down. Bateman looking at space for a shot. Bateman hits it. Pushed away by Charles Cook. And then it comes out to Tanny Morwo. And Tanny Morwo clears. And there goes the half-time whistle. So Hemel's finishing very, very strongly there. Matty Bateman close to getting a equaliser, but in the end Charles Cook with a good strong save. And at half-time here at Vauxhall Road it is Hemel Hempstead Town 0, Welling United 1 with that goal from Shikombi. I don't know, we'll have to say it again, but I really don't know who the header across, well, the clearance was. It just turned into a superb pass for him, didn't it, for Shikombi?
Yeah, he sort of had it straight into the floor, didn't he?
Yeah, and he tapped it in.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between the two sides. You have to say a few really good. Stuart McKenna with a shot over the bar, then he had a shot saved. There was another shot straight at Charles Cook as well. Down the other end, Liebird with a good header wide. Also, Danny Bonus made a good save from Cook. But I don't know, I think maybe even not looking at it from a Hemel point of view and just from a footballing point of view, I would say 1-0 to Welling's quite harsh on the Tudors, really. But
yeah, definitely.
You know, that is the way it goes. So we'll be back for the second half, but at half time here at Vauxhall Road it is Hemel Hempstead Town 0, Welling United 1. Are you surprised to see Hemel out so early? I mean, Welling and not in sight at the moment.
No, well, it's one of the ones where what can Lee actually say?
Yeah, I mean,
you can't really say that we've been poor defensively. We've been better than usual.
I would say maybe work the keeper more, but I guess he's still made three saves. I mean, I guess you'd expect him to make all of them, but
yeah, he's other than that Bateman one right at the end of the half, that was a decent
save.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. So I mean, either way, there's no changes though by the looks of it. It's exactly the same team. They're out very early, and well, I mean. Welling, I would assume, will be arriving at some point. But yes, so apologies to Delaverde there for that. I obviously it looks like Welling might actually be making a change. So someone's stripped and ready, but we'll see if that happens.
Oh, here he is.
Here's Jacob Cook coming in.
PG thoughts on the first half?
PG thoughts. I
thought we'd done well, much better than we have been. It's a shame to let it go in, but it's a mistake. We've got to get over it. I think if we come out the second half, play the way we did in the first half, 3-1, 4-1.
There we go. It's
I'm trying not to laugh.
Well, I mean,
it's the most professional he's ever sounded.
That was professional. Yeah, that was professional. I was surprised. I was expecting some expletives or something. So
that's what I warned him.
Thank you, Jacob Cook, for that. Yeah.
His thoughts on things.
Looks like
we'll try and get Kyle in, but I don't think you'll get much out of him.
Lee is having a chat with our new signing Omar Rowe, which, I mean, no sign of him yet, but I would assume that's an indication of that maybe if something doesn't change 10 minutes or so.
He's a winger.
He'll come in. I mean, Welling are now finally back out. I didn't actually realise Hemel out that early.
That early, no.
Yeah. The Tudors were waiting for a long time, but here come our opponents now. The Wings, I mean, Bradley Quinton's side, as I say, looking at that first league win of the season, had a pretty rough start, and well, they'll be delighted with their lead so far, won't they? As I say, I wouldn't say necessarily deserved it, but
yeah, I think they'll be a little bit worried, maybe, but
they'll be happy. But the thing is, if they do continue to play as they have done and leave Vauxhall Road with 3 points, then they can't complain with how badly or how well they've played or how not well they've
Every
played.
stat's irrelevant.
Yeah, it is.
The top left of your screen.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing. Looks like Stefan Ilic is coming on, who's got 2 goals this season, I believe. So he's coming on. I'd be interested to see who he's gone off for. I mean, I can't think of anyone who played particularly badly, but he's a striker who's coming on. So I'd be interested. I'm just looking who isn't on the field for the Wings. Is it Liebert, the striker? Or is he there as well? It's Tally Mowo's gone off, which I would assume is an injury, because
it's just
wouldn't think he did anything unless it's just purely tactical.
Yeah, it's a defensive-minded player for a forward, though.
It's
a bold one.
It's an attacking move, and it looks like Ilic has gone sort of. Well, it looks like he's gone in behind. Either way, it is. So obviously, different end switch. So this half, Hemel will be attacking from right to left. So this left side will be the near side, and the far side will be the right side. And for Welling, it's obviously vice versa. And JJ Lacey is going to get us underway in the second half. Still, obviously 1-0. Paul straight away drives the ball in the direction of Matty Bateman. Howells beats Delaverde in the air. Comes to Shikombi, the goal scorer. He loses the ball though. Bateman gets in, leaves it for Reggie Young. Howells is down, injured at the moment. This is McDevitt. And I think going to go out to play. Referee's finally stopped it now for Howells to get some attention. That was a late challenge on him by Delaverde, wasn't it? And
the ref's
Howells
not given a free kick.
The ref's not given a free kick, but Howells is not moving.
No. Should have been a free kick, I think. But
yeah. There was a flurry of late goals actually in the before half time. So Eastbourne Borough took the lead against Braintree and now winning 1-0, and Havant and Waterlooville equalised, and Billericay have just scored against Slough, who have had a man sent off. So we're with Billericay winning. Table's all closing up again, isn't it? And Braintree though, Braintree's still looking for that first win of the season. Howells looks like it's going to be okay to continue. Still seems odd that the referee didn't give a free kick for that one, but
so he does have to go off this time.
Yeah, so Howells does have to go off for this one. But it's going to be a drop ball just on the halfway line that McDevitt takes, and then McDevitt clips over towards Scott Morris. Scott Morris brings it down and plays it into Duke McKenna, who's got Green at his back, but already seen on numerous occasions in the first half that Duke McKenna does have the beating of Green. This is Pennell now, right in front of us here. Pennell then fires it down the line. It's flicked on towards, it's flicked on in the end. Lacey can't get there, and it's picked up by Hobbs. Hobbs finds Shikombi, who takes a nice touch. Reggie Young, Shikombi driving forward, but in the end, across comes McDevitt, and McDevitt finds Pennell. Pennell lets the ball run under his foot, but Howells gets away with it. And then Howells sprays it across to Scott Morris with a few blue shirts closing in, so did well to get out of that in the end. Duke McKenna's interception picked up by Paul, and then Paul plays it back to McDevitt as Hemel looked to build from the back. Here's Pennell getting over the halfway line. Pennell finds Reggie Young. Pennell on the overlap, but Young in towards Lacey. Lacey now, about 30 yards from goal, dead centre. Switches it over to Scott Morris. Morris looking to swing the ball in. Deflected, the one-hand ball, but nothing given, and Shikombi clears up towards Liebert, who does absolutely superbly, but then Delaverde can't gather it and trap it. And Scott Morris again, down the line into Lacey. Lacey fires it over the back post. Charles Cook collect.
It's a good start again.
Yeah, good start, yeah. You can see already that's 2 crosses that have just been hitting really early, so maybe that's get those crosses in early. Charles Cook gets a huge kick on it, but Cooper just drops perfectly on Cooper's head actually, and then it comes into Duke McKenna, and this is Paul again. Into Howells, who's just behind the centre circle. Finds Pennell, who's got just over the halfway line, been encouraged to drive forward is Pennell. He's got Reggie Young with him. Finds Young. Young looking to take on his man. Goes out on the outside, gets his cross in, just over the head of Matty Bateman. Comes out to Ilic, does it? No, Scott Morris collects. Finds Duke McKenna. Duke McKenna now fires his cross in. Blocked. Duke McKenna then goes past Green. And then gets his cross in again. It's a good ball. And it's headed away at the back post by Olagununju. Picked up by Pennell.
wave after wave.
It is at the moment, isn't it? This is Paul. Paul finds Scott Morris into McDevitt, who's just in the centre circle, into Finill, who's on this left position, finds Reggie Young. Young goes brilliantly past Cook. Reggie Young now into the box, gets onto his left foot, and then is tackled, and then it's thought it was me cleared off. I thought it was me a corner, but in the end it's cleared up the line, up towards Liebert. Cooper comes across and covers and finds Bowness. It's been an intense start from Hemel here. Still 1-0 down though. Scott Morris finds Duke McKenna, who turns, looking for some options, and then he just plays it back to Scott Morris into Chris Paul. Paul then drives it into Finill. Finill into Reggie Young, who's looking to take on Cook again. Young getting in the byline, hits his cross off Cook and wins his side a corner. There's going to be a corner on this near side that is in that horrible place that we can't see properly. Looks like it's Duke McKenna and Reggie Young over it. Just waiting to see what happens. It's fired into the box. It's headed away in the middle there. Comes out to Howells again. And then this is fired back in again. It's a really good ball. And it's deflected. It's gone in. It's a goal for Hemel. I think it's Matty Bateman's going to claim it. It's deflected off someone. But either way, it is a goal for the Tudors. And it's 1-1 now. And they've pulled one back. And that's the ideal start of the second half.
It's just recycling the ball, done really, really well. You know, wave after wave, keep recycling it, getting the ball back in the box, and eventually it is tapped home. It's, of all the chances we've had, it's probably the most fortunate one for the Tudors, but they'll take it. Yeah,
so Chris Paul with the ball in. Bateman got up with a header, and then it's deflected off someone. I think it was on target, so I think it is a Matty Bateman goal. Yeah. But there it is. That's his 5th goal of the season, Matty Bateman.
Yeah, not quite sure who's got a touch on that, to be honest with you.
Liebert with the header. Can Hemel now go on and win the game? That is exactly what they wanted. Finill, ball forward into Bateman. Bateman then taken out late. And that's a bad tackle by Cook on Reggie Young. And Cook, who's not been at a day with Reggie Young since the second half started, has just resorted to wiping out the Hemel winger. And that's caused outrage on the Hemel, well, both the substitute bench and the coaching staff.
Well, there's been a few of those tackles from both teams today, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has, yeah. And Bateman got caught late as well.
Yeah, can't say it's just been well in today with the poor challenges, but it's been that sort of game.
Yeah, it's been one of those games. But I think maybe the conditions made the pitch a bit slippery and slick. And there is a yellow card for Cook.
It's a bit hard to judge the ball, isn't it, when it's zipping about so much. You will catch people a little bit late.
No, should mention that Hemel, they have 2 yellow cards, so they have been guilty
it's been
themselves.
That sort of game.
Yeah, they have been guilty themselves. But yes, we've just joined us now. It is Hemel have pulled the goal back thanks to Matty Bateman. It was deflected, but it was a brilliant ball in by Paul, and Bateman got a shot on target. It's deflected it off someone, and Charles Cook had no chance with it. And in the end, now it's a free kick, about 40 yards from goal.
And Reggie is told to go off.
Yeah, so this
even though
time
he's fouled.
Reggie Young is told to go off. So it's 1 rule for them, 1 rule for us.
Yeah, inconsistent
refereeing
today.
Very odd, but either way.
So our free kick taker isn't allowed to take it.
So Duke McKenna fires it in. It's a good ball at the back post, and in the end, it's deflected through. Well, clearly got a touch of a blue shirt, but apparently not. Goal kick.
Yeah, so we're told that if you're fouled, you're allowed to stay on the pitch, so it's not double jeopardy. And if you go down off the ball, or the free kick isn't given, like with the Howells one earlier, you do have to go off. So
ball played forward. Liebert wins the flick on. Illich is in behind here, but Scott Morris is going to get across, and Scott Morris has done very, very well to see off his man and then played up the line. Blackman brings it down into Delaverde, who turns, looking to find Illich again. Illich slips over, but finds it back to Green. Green forced back to Blackman, and then all the way back towards Charles Cook. Charles Cook well out of his area. Fires it long up towards Illich, headed by Scott Morris. Cooper's going to have to come across and deal with it. Illich gets there instead.
It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, it's going to be a corner on the far side. It was interesting header by Scott Morris in the end. That Cooper's done come across and dealt with it. But straight away to corner 4 after scoring it is a corner 4. Hemel to defend. Looks like it's going to be Della Verde to take once more. One arm raised, out swinger all the way over the back post, flicked on by Olakananju, comes to Nathan Green, blocked, and then deflects through for Shakombi, who puts it into the side net, and I think offside flag's gone up there.
Yeah, looks like, can't quite see the line out from here, but
yeah.
It looks so.
Ball played forward by Finill, brought down by Olagununju into Shakombi. Olagununju with an interesting ball that Blackman gets there just ahead of Bateman, but then JJ Lacey's putting him under pressure. He does well in the end though, and he finds Beeden. Beeden looking to advance forward with the ball now. Plays it back to Green. And then this is Hobbs into Olagununju. Back to Cook, who's going to have to be careful now. Dinks the ball through to Liebird. Liebird in a battle with Cooper, holds it up in the corner. Liebird finds Della Verde. Della Verde on the edge of the box, goes for goal. Oh, it's a stunning goal by Della Verde. It's lobbed over Danny Bowness. He's cut inside on his left foot and he's bent it over the keeper and it's gone in the far corner, and the Wings have got an instant lead back.
Yeah, it's a swift reply from Welling. It's a brilliant goal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic effort from Della Verde.
Absolute postage stamp finish.
Yeah, just caught Bowness Smith slightly off his line, and then it's just looped into that top corner, and he has played rather well today as Della Verde, and that's a brilliant goal. So Hemel have it all to do once again. Still plenty of time left in the game though. JJ Lacey back to Paul. Paul fires it over towards Bateman. Bateman beaten in the air. Comes into Shakombi. Shakombi then just runs it out of play. Finill finds Howells. Back to Finill. Oh, that is a massive challenge by Della Verde on Finill. That if the glass wasn't here, I probably would have had concussion there straight towards my head. Here's Paul. Paul plays it into Scott Morris, who's advancing over the halfway line now. Plays it back into Chris Paul. Paul then switches it over towards Reggie Young. Cook heads it back towards Charles Cook, and he does very well to keep it in play. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when the subs are made. Charles Cook fires a long ball forward that Bowness can comfortably bring down and then ball out quickly towards Finill, who's looking to just fire it forward. He dinks it in the channel, cleared away by Olagununju into Della Verde. This is Cook down the line towards Liebird. McDevitt, Finill, quick throw, back to Cooper. Cooper finds Scott Morris. Scott Morris over the halfway line, in towards Paul. Paul then switches it in towards Finill. Finill into Reggie Young. Young looking to take on his man. He's got Finill on the overlap with him. Young whips it in, headed away at the front post. Comes into Liebird. Liebird, nice touch off, finds Illich. Illich turns and then finds Della Verde just in his own half. Under pressure from Howells now, but forces it out towards Green, and then Green switches it over here towards Cook. Cook brings it down. He's got Young with him, and then he plays it down the line. Misses Finill. Illich. And then that is intercepted by McDevitt. Bowness now under pressure. Plays it out to McDevitt. McDevitt stuck in his corner. Needs to get rid of it. Plays it short, and then the end just clears it. But maybe being a bit too intricate in tight areas there.
Yeah, it just needs to get rid.
Yeah. Does get rid of it in the end, but it's a throw in now to Welling. Deep inside Tudor territory. It's with Illich now again. And it's gone for another throw in. Still stuck in the corner. Not actually sure. They lined up the long throw in the end. Yeah, lined up the long throw by the looks of it. Still waiting for it to be taken. Taken in short towards Liebert instead. Liebert gets it back out to Cook. Cook whips it in, headed away by Cooper. It's going to drop for Lacey. Lacey heads it back towards Pennell. Pennell then just launches it long up towards Bateman. Bateman brings it down, but he can't find Lacey. And here comes Green. Green advancing forward with the ball. Scott Morris stands tall, but Green still comes away with it. Duke McKenna now comes over to help him, but Green's still battling away, and in the end he's won his side of throwing. Done well there.
Just need to weather this now. They're just going to have 5 minutes or so where they're on top.
It's a foul throw. He's gone to take it. It's slipped out of his hands.
It's a little bit harsh, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little bit harsh, but it's a foul throw, so it's going to be what Scott Morris to take instead. And he down the line, up towards Lacey, headed away by Shikombi. Finds Paul again. Scott Morris slices out of play, and Tudor's now struggling a bit to get anything sort of going. There's been a few more goals, so Ebbsfleet have an equaliser. Dorking are 4-1 up and Havant are 2-1 up. So goals are flying in. Green to take this throw on the far side. Flicked on by Liebert. Cleared by Cooper. Up towards Matty Bateman. Beaten by Hobbs. Flicked round the corner by Shikombu. Cook is then taken out. Well, thinks he's taken out by Pennell, but play continues. Reggie Young, and it's a head injury for Cook, so well, Cook's now, well, he just wants the free kick. That's why he's unhappy. He's got straight back to his feet as Cook.
Yeah, he just wanted the free kick.
He just wanted a free kick, but referee thought as they're coming together. Certainly, Pennell's eyes were entirely on the ball. So
yeah, it was a little bit heavy maybe, but it was not intentional.
So it'll be, well, Hemel will regain possession with McDevitt, who straight away chips it over towards Scott Morris, who brings it down and then finds Duke McKenna, who haven't seen a lot of in the second half so far. Duke McKenna finds Howells. Howells finds Pennell. Just heard BJ's name called, so I think we're going to be having BJ Christie on soon. Howells down the line up towards Matty Bateman. Bateman trying to get there, can't. Cleared up towards Illich, who brings it down under pressure from Paul, and the referees give a free kick as Paul fires one just wide of the far post, but that looked very, very soft.
Just need to start testing the goalkeeper again. It was starting to worry him at the end of the first half and start of this half as well, and
I'd say it's
just been quiet.
But the 5 minutes before half time and then the 5 minutes after half time, really, really good, and then just sort of since then sort of dropped off a bit. I mean, it's a wonderful goal by Della Verde. You can't really
it's brilliant.
legislate for that, but still, Charles Cook fires it forward. Flicked on by Green up towards Illich, and in the end Cooper has held him up play. Straight away Illich looks a bit different. It looks like he's willing to run in behind and test Hemel's defence a bit more than the big target man has been. Ball slipped into Reggie Young. Straight away he's got a man at his back and he keeps it in play only for Cook, and the referees give handball against Reggie Young when it looked like Cook just hit off him from a yard away maybe.
Yeah, if that, but
by the way, it's a free kick, going to be right in front of us. It's like 30 yards-ish, 35 yards-ish from goal, right on the touchline. And Della Verde's got a chance to deliver a ball in now. You can see some activity on the bench, and it is definitely going to be BJ Christie coming on. It'll be interesting to see who that's for. I think it might go back to 4-4-2 again.
Possibly, yeah. It'll be interesting to see who comes off.
Della Verde pings one into the night sky. Headed back across goal. It's going to run through for Bowness in the end. It was a free header for Blackman at the back post there. This is Reggie Young. Slips it down the line in towards Lacey. Lacey looking to cut inside now. Driving across goal. Slips it in towards Matty Bateman. Just got a bit too much on the pass. And it runs through for Charles Cook. It is a lovely idea from Lacey. You can see exactly what he's trying. But maybe just the pitch just skipped off it. In the end, it's nothing comes of it. Otherwise, Bateman was in 1-on-1. Charles Cook forward. And straight out play for a goal kick.
A throw-in,
Oh, throw-in. It's gone out to play for a throw-in on the far side. Somehow Charles Cook's... well, it looks like we are going to now have that change.
Yeah, it's going to be JJ
Lacey coming off for BJ Christie. Just
Kingy gets a massive round of applause.
Yeah. I have to say with Lacey, I think he tried really hard and worked hard. Just maybe, and he had the ideas. Just didn't quite happen for him today. But
no, he just does offer that little bit of creativity.
He does. Yeah, I mean, you could see with that through ball he played there before. It just hasn't quite happened for him. So it looks like it's going to be 4-4-2 for the remainder of the game. It's BJ Christie on. He did score, obviously, on Tuesday night. Yeah, on his full debut, first start. And it was a really good goal. It was a nice ball into him, and he rolled his man well and then just finished it past the keeper. So we'll have to see what he can do. That's a late challenge there from Blackman. Game's certainly getting a bit feisty now.
Yeah, it's just starting to heat up. I think it's getting to that stage where both teams sort of going to start scrapping it out. It's going to get a little bit
desperate for the points.
Yeah.
This will take Welling 1 point behind Hemel, and as I say, it will be their first league win of the season. We've got
a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a yellow card for Blackman. I mean, it was a late tackle. He needs a combative midfielder, so he'll have to be a bit careful as well. Taken quickly into Scott Morris and then back to Cooper. And Cooper finds Danny Bowness, who, again, has had pretty little to do all game, really. Pennell down the line in towards Matty Bateman, but intercepted. Comes out to Shakombi. Shakombi back to Cook. Reggie Young's won the ball back off him. Ball dinked forward and straight out play for a throw-in.
It looks like they've just kicked out of Reggie Young there.
Yeah.
He's not happy with it.
Well, I didn't say it, but I mean, referee obviously didn't say it either.
No.
Can't be having off-the-ball kicks if that did happen.
I don't think there was that intentional.
No,
it looks like he's almost.
I saw a bit of it looked like a bit of a tangle of legs, but I didn't
possibly
see what it was. Scott Morris finds McDevitt. McDevitt finds Pennell. Pennell wanted it in front of him, but it's to his feet. And then Pennell's ball is pawned. It's picked up by Shakombi. Shakombi now driving forward. Finds Delaverde. Delaverde into Green. Green looking to stretch his legs. And it's a good interception by Paul up towards BJ Chris, who gets his first touch on the ball. He's got the overlapping run of Duke McKenna. And in the end, he's wiped out by Blackman, who... Sorry, not Blackman. It was Illich there on the far side.
Just accumulating fouls now at the moment.
Well, good way to take the sting out of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it just really takes any momentum out of it if the ball's not in play.
Yeah, exactly. Chelmsford have had a red card in their game against Hampton and Richmond. All of the games remain the same. And going to be the free kick taken by Cooper. Cooper finds Scott Morris, who's over the halfway line now, looking to play forward into Duke McKenna. And in the end, it's gone out of play on the far side. I have to say the wind is
really picking up.
Really picking up nice. It's a good job we got an artificial surface, because this game probably would be in a bit of trouble, though. Green then clips it forward, inviting Liber to run after it, but in the end, Cooper deals with it and plays it into Danny Bowness, who just gets there ahead of Delaverde. And this is Pennell now. Pennell looking to advance forward. Fires it down the line towards BJ Christie, and Hobbs comes across and deals with it. Christie forces it out. Forces Hobbs to clear out play for a throw-in as the Tubes gain some more territory. Pennell to take this one. Finds Howells. Back to Pennell. into Howells. Howells then just fires it into the box. Can't find Matty Bateman, and it's going to be thrown in on the far side. We're 20 yards or so. Looks like we're going to be seeing Omar Rowe as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who he comes on for.
Duke McKenna has ran the ball out of play on that far side. Be interested to see if it's for Duke McKenna. He has been a bit quiet in the second half.
Yeah.
He was lively in the first half.
Maybe just starting to tire a little bit, possibly.
Yeah. He has played a lot of games lately.
He has, yeah. That's the thing with the delayed start this season. It is now, like you said to me just before the game, it is essentially Tuesday, Saturday now for the fairly foreseeable future.
This is McDevitt dealing with the long ball forward and finds Finill. Finill looking to play it into Howells. Howells turns on it and then plays it into his midfield partner Paul. And Paul now playing it, driving over the halfway line, finds Finill. Finill looks up, slips it in towards BJ Christie. Christie tackled in the end well by Olagununju into Delaverde now as Welling tried to spring a counter. Liebird in a race with Cooper, but Bowness comes out and deals with it. Bowness's kick forward reaches Paul. This is Reggie Young. Finill again. Finill slips it. Well, tries to slip it in towards Reggie Young, but it's picked up by Cook. And this is Blackman. Blackman into Liebird, who rolls Cooper. Probably the first real time that Liebird's just got the beating of Cooper, so it's been impressive, hasn't he? Cooper, really?
I think both the defenders today
they've both been solid. Yeah, we are going to see Omar Rowe coming on, so former Southampton winger. It is going to be for Duke McKenna, so I got that one right.
Former Iron Apple man.
Oh, former Iron Apple man, yeah.
See if you can bring the party to Vauxhall Road tonight.
Yeah. Well, hey, how long have you been thinking of that one?
What minute are we in? 75th?
Yeah.
Like 75 minutes?
Yeah, 70. I think 70. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how he does. Duke McKenna played very well in the first half. Second half, maybe not quite his game, unfortunately. So it looks like he's gone straight over to the. So no actual change in formation. He's gone straight to the right wing, hasn't he? So.
Yeah. Like for like.
Howells volleys it over towards Finill. He's got some time to advance forward. He's over the halfway line. He's got Paul with him, and then he finds Howells. Howells slips it, reverse ball in towards Reggie Young, but Cook's going to get there. Cook now clears it up the line, headed away by Shakombi, picked up by Finill again. This is Howells. Shows some nice feet to Jake Howells, and then switches it over towards Scott Morris, who's got some space, and Scott Morris hits it from about 30 yards out in the end. Well over, but good to see the ambition.
Yeah, good feet from Jake Howells as
well.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's sort of been out of the team for a couple of games now, and he's
played
really well today.
Gone down off the ball. That's not a good sign, and straight away Jake Evans has been invited to come out and warm up. Didn't actually say what happened to Matty Bateman there, but he did go down off the ball, and Evans looks like he's getting ready.
Yeah, he's
so
going to get his kit, whether he's been told to or he's just very eager to play.
Well, very true.
But in the half-time sort of kickabout for the subs, what you
saying?
Some absolute upper echelon finishes from him. So if anyone's going to be testing the goalkeeper, he's probably the man you want from Rangers, isn't he?
Evans coming on. Well, straight away Evans coming on, so it doesn't look like it's good news for Matty Bateman. Really didn't happen, but as I say, he's the Tudors' top goal scorer this season. He has played every single game.
He has, yeah.
And he's an important player in the dressing room as well. And as I said, 5 goals this season for him, but that doesn't look too good. We'll have to get an update on him full time. But either way, straight away, going to be Evans on, so you'd assume back to a 4-2-3-1.
You'd assume so, yeah.
Yeah. So off goes Matty Bateman, and on comes Jake Evans, who has 2 goals this season. 1 in the FA Cup and 1 in the league.
Yeah, it has been credited as a Bateman goal from what I can see.
Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah. So, yeah, it was a Matty Bateman goal. His header was on target. It was deflected in, but his header was on target. So Bateman just limping off down in front of us. And we're back underway though. Charles Cook forward. McDevitt heads it in towards Reggie Young, but it's going to be picked up by Cook. Cook then just skips inside Reggie Young, and then he finds Liebird. Liebird under pressure from Howells. Forces it back to Chicumbi. And then this is Blackman. BJ Christie trying to be interested, but Chicumbi then sprays it out to Nathan Green. Green looking to send it in the box towards Delaverde, who hits it over the bar. It was a good ball in. Delaverde arrived totally unmarked, and he's hit it into the ground, and it's bounced just over Danny Bonus's goal, and that was nearly game over. Back underway quickly. Scott Morris into Omar Rowe. Finds Paul. Paul then switches it over towards Pennell. Pennell brings it down. Pennell finds Jake Howells. Howells now switches it over to Scott Morris, and he was trying to work it from side to side. Into Evans, who gets his first touch of the ball. Howells finds Pennell. Pennell looking to advance forward with the ball, finds Reggie Young. Young, who's hugging the touchline, looking to take on his man, gets to the byline. Reggie Young cuts inside one, back to Pennell. Pennell then swings a good cross in, headed away by Blackman, no one there, and Chicumbi clears. Brought down by Scott Morris. Finds Evans. Evans into Paul. Paul into Omar Rowe, turns. Rowe finds Evans. Evans is here. Trying to get his cross in. It's going to drop for Rowe. Has he missed the ball?
It looks it.
He's put his foot
So
through it and he's
unfortunate.
missed the ball, and this is Illich now. Illich looking to go out, and in the end he's fouled. He does very well, Illich there, just inviting the tackle in, and wins a side of cheap free kick.
And no rush to take it either by
Nope.
lots of things, which you wouldn't be if you were
Nope.
in.
No, you
If it was
can
in
never,
Howell's
you can
position.
never complain at any team who do that, because
No,
at the end of
because
the day,
if you're in
every
their
si-
position,
every
you do
sing-
exactly the same
Every
thing.
single team does it. So
Every team.
it's going to be left for Blackman by the looks of it. It's about 5 yards or so inside Tudor's half, and in the end he just dinks it down the line in towards Delaverde. Delaverde in the corner, holding it up. He's got Cook with him. He finds Cook, and then Cook back to Illich. Illich turns back to Blackman. Blackman under pressure from Rowe, but now he's got some free pitch to advance into, and he sprays it across the green. And Green swings an early ball in, and Bowness collects it near post. And Bowness is now going to get us underway quickly. Balls it out to Paul. Paul finds... It's back with Paul. Paul into Howells. Switched over towards Pennell. Pennell in towards Reggie Young. Young in a race with Cook. Cook gets across him, and Cook holds him off. And then Cook clears it up and out for a throw in.
Almost felt like an out-and-out right back this half, isn't he, Cook?
I think he is, to be fair. I think because of Tani
That
Moore
might
going
have
off.
been the change, yeah.
I think Cook's gone a right back. I mean, he was a right winger last season, so I guess.
Yeah.
Taken quickly. Throw in the end, and it's gone against, well,
It's a foul
It's a
throw,
foul
I think,
throw.
from Pennell.
foul throw from Pennell. So that's 2 foul throws in this game.
It is. Not often you see them given, but
Not often, no. But by the way, it's going to throw to Welling. Forward by Cook. Liebird can't get there. Illich does get a little glance on it, but it's back with McDevitt. This is Danny Bowness now. Still plenty of time left for the Tudors, but at the moment they are trailing to that fantastic Delaverde strike. This is McDevitt back to Pennell. Into McDevitt again. McDevitt switches it over towards Scott Morris. He's carried it over the halfway line. And then finds Paul. Looks like Evans is on the right wing actually, and Rose in the... This is Paul driving forward. Tries to find BJ Christie. In the end, it's picked up by Blackman, who smashes it away, and it's all... Well, it's just all hands to the deck now for Welling, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It's going to be hits on the break if you can, but it's...
McDevitt
Hold what you got.
Pennell. Howells again. Howells finds Paul in the centre circle. He looks to switch it out towards Scott Morris. Scott Morris looking to send the ball in early. Reggie Young trying to get in there behind. He does get there. Young holding it up now in the corner. Going to say well in substitution as well. Throw in, and it's gone.
It's gone Welling's way.
It's gone Welling's way, yeah. Looks like we're going to be seeing Deepo Akinyemi, who scored in this game last season. So he's coming on. We'll have to see who he's coming on for. It is for Liebert. No real surprise there. He's not really been involved in the game, has he? Apart from that one header in the first half that went wide.
Just a little bit of energy as well now, just to, if they can hit us on the break. It just gives our defender something to worry about. Can't push forward too much now. So, yeah,
he is a bit of a different striker to Liebert. So on comes Akinyemi. I'm just going to throw in, well, pretty much in line with their own box, Welling's own box, which is actually right in the corner flag, actually. It's launched long and forward, and it's flicked on by Akinyemi, who wins the first header. Only as far as Paul, though. And Paul finds Evans. Evans looks to turn, and Evans hits it from distance, blocked by Blackman. Picked up by Howells. Comes out to Paul again, into Howells. Howells looking to clip a lovely ball through for Scott Morris. Scott Morris at the byline, gets his cross in, headed away at the front post. Going to drop for Evans now. Evans leaves it for Scott Morris, back to Paul. Paul to send one in to the back post. Way too much on that at the end. But you can see they're trying to create a different angle, trying to create just anything, and there's still time for the Chiefs to get something from this game.
Yeah, they're not at the point where it's just shoot and cross them anywhere. They're still trying to engineer something, which is good to see. The hiccups have come out of nowhere. I forgot they existed.
10 minutes or so to go, I think, plus added time. So it is still Hemel Hempstead Town 1, Welling 2. Pennell wins the header. Drops to Cook. Cook then just launches it forward. It was actually going out as a shot on target, that. Straight in the hands of Danny Bonas into Scott Morris. Scott Morris finds Paul. Paul switches it out to Pennell. This is now Reggie Young, who's got Cook at his back and plays it back to Pennell. Pennell then switches it over to Cooper. Love to see the possession stats in the second half. It's a poor giveaway there, though, and away comes Nathan Green. Green advancing forward. Green now hits it off Cooper, and I think he's won his side a throw-in right in the corner flag, but it's a poor pass out there from Cooper in the end, and it encouraged Green to get forward.
Yeah, it's just the mistakes you can't be making now in these final 10.
Just relieves all that pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Green going to take it in no rush. He's got Della Verde with him. He finds Della Verde. Della Verde holds it up, and in the end he's won aside another throw in, a bit further back, but exactly where Welling won it. Ball played forward here, and then it's going to be a corner, or it's going to be another throw.
Can't see where the ref's pointed there.
Yeah, I can't quite work out. Looks like it's another throw right in the corner flag again. Green still over it. Finds Akinyemi. Back to Green. Taking on Jake Evans and wins another throw.
Just running down the
totally
clock now.
Totally draining any sort of momentum in the game.
Smart play.
Yep. Billericay are now 2-0 up against Slough. Hampton and Richmond have taken the lead against Chelmsford, and Dartford are 2-0 up against Maidstone. And then this is played across goal there. Going to be a throw in on this near side to the Tudors. been encouraged to launch it forward. In comes BJ Christie for the flick on. Up towards Christie, beaten in the air by Shikombi, but Hemel slowly gaining some territory. Reggie Young leaves it for Pennell. Pennell finds Howells, and then Howells fires it over towards Scott Morris, who's got some turf in front of him, hasn't he, that he can run into.
He's put some miles in today, Scott Morris.
Finds Paul instead. This is Howells. Paul switches over towards Pennell. Pennell looking to get forward with the ball now as well. Pennell finds Reggie Young. Young looking to take on his man. Under pressure, goes past one, goes past two. Reggie Young running across goal. Finds Paul, and then Paul switches it over to the other side towards Scott Morris. Then he finds Evans. All the way back to Cooper. Cooper into McDevitt. McDevitt into Pennell. Pennell into McDevitt. This is Omar Rowe now, who's dropped deep to come and get the ball, and he's driving forward and then switches it out towards Reggie Young. Young got Pennell on the overlap, finds Pennell. Pennell swings the ball in. It's nearly reaches Jake Howells, but it's come out to Nathan Green instead. And then this is Akinyemi. Akinyemi, though, beaten to it by Evans. But Evans can't make anything of it and just plays it down the line. Now, they might stay in play. Oh, it's deflected, and then he's played it off. Akinyemi's done well.
They're just gaining territory now.
Yeah, slowly gaining territory. Pressure's cranking up here. But can they get that equaliser? Back to Cooper. Into McDevitt. And he finds Paul again. Paul into Evans. Evans turns, looking to send the ball into the box. Evans to the back post. Might reach Reggie Young. Comes out Omar Rowe instead. Rowe onto his right foot. Looking to work the space for a shot perhaps. Rowe turns back on his left foot now. And then he plays it back to Howells. And then Howells finds Reggie Young. And Young sends the ball in. It's a good ball. No one can get there. It's picked up by the back post again. Pulled back. And then blocked by... Well, I don't know who was blocked by, but it was hit him straight in the face, whoever blocked it.
Pressure's really building now.
Really building. Howells finds Pennell. Pennell over the halfway line. Gives it away. Illich picks it up. Tackled by Rowe. Rowe wins it high up the field. BJ Christie trying to work the space for a shot, but he's tackled by... Well, they've won it back. It's a foul right on the edge of the area here.
Done well to win that. It wasn't the best touch from BJ Christie, and he's done well to get a free kick out of it.
I think it was Olagununju there, with the... it was Olagununju with the lunge. And it's a free kick in a decent position. So we'll have to see who's going to take this, but I thought Rowe did well in the build with that as well, sort of nicking it back in a high position.
Looks like he's playing as almost like a 10, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was expecting to maybe him and Evans be the other way around, but it's worked so far.
Jake Evans over the free kick.
Jake Evans over the free kick.
Lovely little position for it as well.
It's a good position. It's about 22 yards from goal. It's left of centre. It's the perfect position for a right footer, really. Now, can Jake Evans make something of this? It's a big wall, 6'4" men in it. But
he'll do well to get it up and over, but it looks like it's probably what we'll go for.
Evans steps up, hits it. He got the height, just not quite the dip, and in the end it's gone well over the bar from Jake Evans there. But it's just one of those ones where he tried to go up and over the wall and just didn't get the dip, was it? So it's going to have another change for Welling as Delaverde goes off, and then comes Lionel Ainsworth. I have to say, Delaverde looks like look at the moment he's got the winning goal.
And a good goal at that.
It was a brilliant goal. Came in on his left foot and he just sort of bent it over towards that top corner, and it dipped over the top of Bowness and went in. And Delaverde's pretending he hasn't signed his number, and now Omar Rowe's pushing him off. I've seen some time wasting, and that was something else. That, to be honest, he saw his number, and then he pretended he hadn't seen it
until he got pushed. But You know, if we were winning and we'd done that, we'd all be laughing at it. So
on comes Lionel Ainsworth anyway, and as I say, at the moment it looks like Delaverde's goal is going to be what separates the two teams. We've got around a minute left of normal time, plus whatever stoppage time. Akinyemi goes up for the header, going to run through for Bowness. Can Hemel create one more chance perhaps? Second half's been pretty relentless apart from about 10 minutes or so. Ball played down the line up towards Reggie Young. Young might get there, but Olakununju gets there instead, holds him up and fires it down the line. Picked up by Pennell. Pennell into Paul. Paul plays it across to Scott Morris. Scott Morris might cross. Does cross. Scott Morris into the box. Headed away by Beeden. Picked up by Evans. Evans back to Paul. Paul into Scott Morris. Scott Morris fires it into the box. Headed away at the front post by Beeden. Have to say, Beeden in the first half looked like he was struggling with the on the ball.
Yeah.
But he's headed away literally every single cross this second half.
Yeah, well now they're a little bit deeper. They can't really be sort of exposed to pace as much. 'Cause if you beat them, you're almost at the byline. So
we're going to have 4 minutes added time here. 4 minutes added time. What can the Tudors make of this? Reggie Young to take this corner. Reggie Young sends it into the back post. Everyone goes up. It's headed. It's going to drop for Cooper. It's punched away by Charles Cook. And in the end, Charles Cook's been taken out and he's gone down. And he's gone down in a heap. And this will eat some more time away. Hopefully he's okay, of course. But this will eat some more time away. I think he was just caught as he went for the punch, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's just sort of flown in for the same ball and he's been caught.
He's oh, hang on, we're going to maybe see some referees having a... I don't know what... I thought the referee was going to... Blew his whistle as if he was indicating he was going to go and talk to someone. He's just carried on.
Got the ball back, yeah.
Anyway, Charles Cook, to be fair, has got straight out his feet, so he's okay. But he's now going to take this free kick. Pings it forward, seeking out Akinyemi. Akinyemi wins his header. Runs out of play for a throw-in. Scott Morris finds Paul. Back into Scott Morris. Over towards McDevitt. This is Pennell again. Into Howells. Howells back to Pennell. Pennell looking to ping one down the line. Headed away by Olakununju this time. Picked up by Illich. Illich driving forward over the halfway line. Finds Ainsworth. And it's a late tackle by Jake Howells on Illich. It's going to be a yellow card for Howells. As Illich, well, he's just caught as he played the ball away.
Yeah, he's just smart enough to hold on to the ball long enough and just release it just as the challenge comes in.
And time is running out here for
Hemel now.
Yellow card for Jake Howells. But there's no time to rest, really. Straight back into it on Tuesday. Game against Hampton, who are grinding out the 1-0 wins. They were winning 1-0 last time I checked. They're still winning 1-0 now. And they won 1-0 on Tuesday against Hungerford. So, they won 1-0. They played them in their FA Cup, didn't they? So, so that'll be a tough game. And then straight after that, it's Dulwich again. Dulwich Hamlet, who aren't playing today. I think this is their game off. So we're going to have a free kick to Welling that Blackman and Cook are over, and Blackman instead just plays it in towards Illich. Illich then tries to slip it down the line and wins a side of throw-in instead. Still waiting for this throw-in to be taken. It's taken out in towards Howells, and then this is back to Pennell, and Pennell pings it down the line, headed away by Blackman. Pennell picks it up. He finds McDevitt into Cooper. Cooper looking to carry it out. Cooper into McDevitt again. Got Pennell with him. Pennell being encouraged to drive forward with the ball. Finds Reggie Young. Young is then not fouled.
Ref puts the whistle to his mouth, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then takes it away again.
So, referee obviously thought about it, but no, obviously not. And play continues. I can't imagine there's that long left here now. Still pushing, balls being played into the Welling half with Finill. Finill down the line into Reggie Young. Young in a race with Cook. Cook comes away with it brilliantly, and then Cook just thumps it down the line. You have to say Cook, after his yellow card, he's been pretty sublime, to be honest, against Young.
Yeah, especially as a right back, which is so unorthodox for him from what we know about him.
Yeah, and this is Paul who turns and in the centre circle, and can Hemel get the ball forward and create one more opportunity. And we're still in their own half at the moment. Paul then looks to skip his way by Akinyemi, and Akinyemi brings him down. Takes it quickly into McDevitt. McDevitt now does find Finill. This is Omar Rowe, who's dropped deep to pick up the ball and looking for some options. Turns. Slips it in towards Jake Evans. Evans into Paul. Paul can't get it out wide and is picked up by Akinyemi, and Akinyemi thumps it away, trying to seek out the run of Ainsworth, but straight out of play for a throw-in. Can't imagine we have very long left here at all. Cooper in Evans. Evans looking to switch it over. Picked up by Rowe. Howells maybe. Picked up by Rowe again. Rowe turns. He's about 30 yards from goal. He tries to play it into Christie. Christie got a man at his back. Finds Evans into Howells. Howells into Young. Reggie Young. Reggie Young fires it into the box. Flicked on at the back post. Cleared by Akinyemi. And there goes the full-time whistle here at Vauxhall Road. So Welling United get their first win of the season thanks to a 2-1 win over the Tudors. Goals from Shakumbi and Della Verde sealing the win for Bradley Quinton's side. Hemel tried so hard. They just could not get that equaliser after Della Verde scored a brilliant goal about 20 yards out. He just bent it over Danny Bowness. And just a case of, I don't know, just missed chance, I guess, because in the first half especially there was some very good chances. Well, we've got Jacob Cook's initial thoughts here.
Don't know if he wants to speak. Does he want to
no,
speak?
He doesn't want to speak.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a one of those games. I would assume Lee's thoughts after in a bit. You can either stay on Mixlr, it'll be all on there, or it'll be published straight live. But once again, unfortunately, can't get that home win. That search continues, but we're straight away. Games come thick and fast as we play Hampton and Richmond on Tuesday, and then once again we're here again next Saturday for Dulwich Hamlet.